All right, we're live.
Oh,
All right. We've been having some technical difficulties over the last 30 minutes or so, but we are here. This is the Strange Films Live.
that's why we have one microphone.
Yes. Trust me, I had all the gear set up ready to go with headsets and microphones, soundboard, and everything. Come to find out, half of it worked. If we were let's see, Sim Scare Studios, David Brandon, if you're in the room, give us a shout. Let me know you're here and you can hear us. And we got 3 viewers. That's what it says.
Ooh,
Cool. That's what's up. I like it.
cool.
All right. So welcome everybody. This is the very first Strange Films Live that we are doing. This is going to be hopefully a weekly podcast, weekly talk show that we do every week on YouTube and kind of convert that to an audio segment as well. So we can put it on your, all right, he says he's here. Good deal. So we can put it on your own, your preferred podcast listening, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. So, so today, my name is August Aguilar. I am the director of Strange Films. I am here with my dear friend, John Queener. Yes, filmmaker, writer, director, and again, a dear friend of mine who I've known for a few years now. So I thought it would be great to kick off this series with him and kind of dive into a lot of topics that are recent as far as Strange Films goes, talk about some things that John is doing currently, and pick his brain about a few different things. And we've got a fun game here in the middle that I'm very excited, looking forward to. So guys, you are and David says it's nice to meet you, bro. And what I like about this streaming is I can put your comments right there. So guys, if you're on the stream, if you're on the chat and you want to say hi, we can see all your comments right here in real time. I can put them up and we can talk to you and interact with you. Okay?
The wonders of technology.
It's insane. So we hope, or I hope at least, for the next time around, I'm going to get all this gear stuff situated. So we can at least look a little better professionally and sound maybe a little better. I mean, hopefully the sound's coming off okay for you guys. But anyways, John, so we got a lot to talk about today, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So the first thing we're going to dive into is just some of our recent updates and headlines of what's kind of going on with us and Strange Films. So is there anything new that's been going on with you, my friend?
Well, I made this movie. It's called Tether, and it comes out May 31st.
Ooh.
I have been working on it for a very long time, or rather not working on it because a lot of things happen that prevent me from working on it. Like there was this thing in 2020, you probably heard about it, that, you know, people had to like stay inside and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And that kind of prevented a lot of stuff and, you know, personal circumstances and timing, scheduling, but working on it for a long time, and it's finally coming out May 31st.
It's called Tether, correct?
Yes, Tether.
Okay. We're going to dive into Tether quite a bit here in a little bit. Okay?
Awesome.
So going into John's update of Tether, Strange Films update. It's been a crazy last 2 weeks for Strange Films. I'm not going to lie. It's probably been the most traffic I've seen since we started. And it's I'm feeling very, very blessed about it. The biggest thing was, one of the bigger things was last weekend was FrankenCon here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and Lions Den played. We won Best Film of the festival. It was awesome. Joe Bob Briggs was there. And Sim Scares, David Brandon says he cannot wait to watch it. My
Perfect. Thank you.
Lions Den won. We got tons of traffic for that film, and I'm not sure if it's a mixture of FrankenCon. I'm not sure if it's a mixture of. I have no idea. But dude, long story short, Lions Den was already my highest view count in all my films. But since probably about 6 months ago, I saw it was around 11,000, which I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty
views.
good.
I was like, oh my gosh. And then FrankenCon hit, and after the weekend, it was at 16,000. Okay?
Damn.
So I was like, dang, all right. Wow, okay, this is awesome. Then midweek this week, it was at 26,000. Okay?
Holy cow.
2 days ago, it was 29,000. And now it's almost at 32,000.
Wow.
32,000 views.
That FrankenCon boost.
But the thing is, I don't think it's just FrankenCon.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you go on your YouTube studio, like analytics, you can kind of see like what it breaks down, where people are kind of coming to your videos from. And there's like 40% of traffic coming from India.
Huh.
Yeah. And you know what the key words are searching for this film is lion movie, people attacking or people getting attacked by lions, lion attacks, like lion horror movie, a lot of stuff like that. And it's coming up as a suggested video for a lot of other different videos. So I'm getting tons and tons and tons of views. And I'm not really sure why, but at the same time, I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, FrankenCon definitely made it look like it was even great.
Yeah.
But so we're having some excitement with the Lion's Den. And after that, which we're going to dive into this here in just a little bit more, but Cindy's birthday party. And guys, if you know, you know. But we're going to dive into that discussion here in just a little bit, okay? So, John, for the people at home who don't know you or who ever come back to this podcast and listen, let's give them a brief origin story of you in your filmmaking career. How did you get started? When did you want to be a filmmaker?
Well,
just give me the spark notes of your origin story.
So it all happened when I was a young child. I was bit by a radioactive video camera. No, I loved to like play outside and act out stories, and I quickly discovered the word processor, and I was like, I can write this down. I can tell stories, and I basically wrote my own version of like Harry Potter because that was what I was into, and I'm like, this has to be a movie because that my child brain was like, if it's a story, it's got to turn into a movie. And I saved up for a video camera. I got that, and then I'm like, how am I going to make this? How am I going to do this? So I had to just wing it, and like me and my friends, we would play like cops and robbers on our scooters and just set up the tripod and play in front of it. And then I started to like learn how to edit and then get better equipment, start to get sound equipment, started to go to school for it. And I was like, yeah, I really like this. And, you know, I've always liked telling stories, and, you know, movies are just one way to tell stories. And it's the way I picked to like get good at and focus on.
That's awesome, man. I mean, I guess, you know, we hear a lot of people who, even myself, who love movies, how they get into it. And it's just because their imagination kind of took them there, right?
Pretty much.
You know, how do I do that? Or whatever. And then you get with buddies and you just start, you know, making silly videos, and it kind of leads from there. It's funny, like you said, that you wrote your own, like, kind of like Harry Potter style thing, because when I was a kid and I started really understanding that I loved writing and movies and whatnot, I wrote my own version of The Legend of Zelda, but I formed it and mashed it together with Pokemon.
Perfect.
So it was, in my mind, it was amazing, but I wrote 3 chapters, right? And if you remember The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, where you do like your first few dungeons and whatnot, especially when you're adult Link and you go to the lava dungeon, you fight that red dragon and whatnot, the fire dragon. So I essentially wrote the fire temple and the leaf temple stories or chapters in my story, and the fire temple
filled with fire type Pokemon,
and your boss was Charizard.
Oh gosh, of course.
And so that's just kind of like it's funny how your imagination, you just start.
You hear that?
What's that?
That's the sound of Nintendo knocking at your door with a lawsuit.
I'm sorry. But yeah, so it's just interesting to hear people's how they started and everything. So
that's great.
That's cool, man. So one question about that also, when you said you started learning how to write like in like an Excel or like a document style, did you know how to write like in script format, or did you just put words together?
I wrote it like sentences, like I read in books. I had no idea anything about like script formatting or like the process of filmmaking.
How long did it take, or when did you learn the script format?
Gosh, not until I was like in college. Like before then, it was just like I felt like I didn't need a script. It's like I had the story in my head and just go out there, and then I was like, okay, I need a script. Eventually, it's like
that's essentially basically when I did. I started messing around with cameras when I was very young. A lot of stuff with my friends in high school and whatnot. I took some classes in high school, but in college, that's where everything kind of started clicking. I actually was learning and paying attention to. So I took a screenwriting class. That's how I figured out how to write, how to really edit, how to really film, how to do all these different things. But I'll tell you, I wish I paid more attention in school, because I half-assed a lot of that. and I didn't really learn. I had to like relearn a lot of it after school.
Yeah, and an important note, viewers might not know this. We went to the same school in the same program, and we never met each other while we were in school.
We did not. So shout out ETSU Mass Communication Program.
That's Media and Communication now.
Oh my God.
They changed the name.
Yeah. So shout out, but no, we did not.
Yeah.
Ever run into each other?
We both went to EtsuCon, and I know for a fact you were there and whatnot. And it's like we were just like, that's so funny.
Me and John didn't meet until 2017, and that was at the
Model City Film
Festival. Center City was playing.
Back to the Drawing Board was playing. It's a great film, by the way. Yeah.
I still love that film.
Thank you.
So we met there, and ever since we became best buds.
Yeah.
So cool, man. Well, thank you for sharing your origin story.
Awesome, yeah.
And we're going to dive into one of the main controversy topics of the evening. And I want to hear your thoughts about it because I've heard the internet's thoughts. And I've heard lots of thoughts from some close friends and family of mine. But this is the first time we've gotten together since. So if you didn't know, or when you come back to listen to this. So essentially, there's a film that we made back in 2018. So Cindy's Birthday Party. It's a little short horror film, 6 minutes long. And it is, now not gonna lie, it is a little dark, right? But the thing is, essentially, it's a little girl who leads her friend Jonas into her birthday party, which ends up leading to his demise by her monster of a mother. And there is a graphic kind of image at the end as far as the kid gets pretty messed up.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is an older film. It's been out for 4 years now. It went through numerous film festivals. It's won a couple different things. It was made with love. All of the kids and their parents were involved in the film. I've never ever had any issues as far as the film goes, right?
Mm-mm.
And it's advertised clearly as a horror film. Clearly.
Yeah.
And if you look at the thumbnail, it's got Jonas, the boy, with a monster hand right in front of his face. It's got all these different horror, like, laurels and stuff around it. It says Strange Films. If you press play, within 10 seconds, you're going to see Strange Films. You're also going to hear all this really, really creepy, ominous music. And then you still got 5 minutes for the film to warn you, pretty much, it's a horror film before anything really crazy happens. So long story short, we get this email. Strange Film Studios, we get this email of a teacher named Cheryl. And Cheryl, if you ever watch this or stumble upon this, thank you. And honestly, I hope you're not mad. Happy birthday, Cindy, Cinema Scare Studio says. Thank you. And we hope you're not mad, and we're not mad at you. We love you, Cheryl. Thank you. So Cheryl writes this email, and she says that she is she showed Cindy's birthday party to her whole class of 7 to 8-year-olds, right? And they were horrified. And that I should have seen their face before she turned that thing off, which I wish I did. I can only imagine. But she says that what we did was intentional, and that it was I'm not sympathetic, and I think it's funny, and that
it's pretty funny.
Whatever that I shouldn't have that kind of content out on YouTube, and that
she didn't even know there was stuff like that on YouTube.
She says, I didn't even know stuff like that on YouTube existed. And she's like, but the thing was, she says that she plays birthday party videos to her class when her kids eat cupcakes. Tara Beavers, hello. I see you. We're going to put your comment right there. It's hilarious. Yes, it is hilarious. So nice to see you, Tara. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, so she shows Cindy's birthday party. I have no idea even how she gets to Cindy's birthday party.
Right? Like, right? I'm thinking the thought process is if she shows birthday party videos, it's like, what did she just search birthday party and that shows up? That would make sense that it would match, but like you'd think it would show up way after like a bunch of other stuff.
I would think so.
Especially if it's just birthday party.
Because also Cindy's birthday party at the time was sitting about 1,200 views, right? So that's like in the algorithm of probably lots of birthday videos. It's probably not that way up there, I would imagine, right? Especially if you're not looking up horror. You're looking at general birthday party videos, you're probably going to get general birthday party videos. Unless
she looks up videos, unless there's like a collection of videos where it's like birthday parties for people with specific names, and she does it for like specific students, and happened to land on Cindy that day.
She had a Cindy in her class? and it was her birthday that day. She said, you know, Cindy, we're going to look up your name in YouTube and see what happens. But what kills me is, right, so she says that getting a phone call. We might actually have phone calls on this show. I have a number set up. Should we answer it? I guess, hold on. We're going to let's take this phone call because I'm pretty sure this is our friend Paul.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
This is Paul Magilton, I'm pretty sure. Hello?
Hello.
This is Paul Magilton. Paul, you're live on the air right now on Strange Films Live.
You've won a free car.
All right. Dude, I could use one. I could actually use a pack of syrup and some beer.
Well, it's your lucky day. Frank Aguilar is going to send you a free pack of beer and cigarettes.
Oh, really?
Yes, tell him.
It'll be with that T-shirt that he's supposed to send me like 2 months ago.
Yeah, okay, tell him a large pizza, pack of cigarettes, and a pack of beer, and tell him August sent them.
Okay.
All right.
I'll call him tonight. I'll call him.
All right. Hey, Paul, thanks.
How you doing, John?
Hey, I'm pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good. I just had to turn my other. I got a tablet. I turned it down so I could wouldn't have all that feedback.
Cool.
But it's a good thing to see you and August on here. August, congratulations with the success and the views of Lions Den.
Thanks, man.
30,000. That's a major accomplishment.
Well,
After that, that's like the magic number.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm pretty amazed by it. Still pretty baffled by it, and super excited. We'll see. Hopefully, it keeps going. And we're in the middle of talk about Cindy's, which, long story short about that, Cheryl's fault, which ends up being my blame, ends up being the best promotion that we could ask for. And Cindy's birthday party went up 1,800 views, and it's at a 3,000 view mark now. And thank you, Cheryl, once again.
Wait till she takes it to the school board.
Oh, I kept saying I wish she would contact the local news, call the cops, get the Parents Association involved. I wanted her to take it to the next level, you know. But
are you sure this isn't a joke?
I only wish I knew where there was, because I would have sent an anonymous tip to the news myself.
You would have sent them a Strange Films Blu-ray.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? Going back to all this is when she emailed me all this, I emailed her back and I said, thank you so much. Would you like me to send you a free autographed copy of Cindy's Birthday Party, the comic book? And
you can read it to the kid.
Yeah, and she never said anything back. But we love you, Cheryl. Thank you.
Shout out to Cheryl.
Yeah,
put her in the special thanks for your next film.
I will. Have them do some investigative work.
We have to. We gotta take this. So, guys, if you want to take this to the next level, try to find a way how we can get the news of a horror film being shown to a second grade class and what happened from that. So, Paul, we appreciate it. We got to keep moving, and thank you so much for calling in. We had some technical difficulties setting up, but eventually, once we kind of get the ball rolling on these shows, every call that comes in is actually going to come through our soundboard. So I'm not just answering this phone randomly. But we appreciate it, Paul. Thank you, and thanks for saying hi to John here.
Yeah, no problem. John, August, I will talk to you guys later and enjoy your podcast.
Thank you. Keep watching, man. I can comment if you're on the chat here. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna turn it up now.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Paul.
I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye. That's cool.
That's good.
All right. Right on. So thank you, Paul Magilton, aka Butch from Center City. Thank you for calling our very first phone call in on the show.
Frank's gonna be calling you and being like, "What's this about pizza and beer?"
I hope Frank, you owe him some pizza, beer, and cigarettes. Okay. All right. So we're Cindy's birthday party. We're gonna just wrap that up. But yeah, Cheryl, thanks for showing the horror film to a bunch of kids.
One thing I want to address about that is the comment. I didn't even think they had things like this on YouTube. Lady, do you know what YouTube is?
Right, yeah.
Like, I've seen some stuff on YouTube, man. Like, Cindy's birthday party is tame.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, especially back in the Wild West of YouTube before they like cracked down on copyright and all sorts of stuff. It's like, oh man.
Well, also, the biggest thing also I was going to mention was that educators from every educator I know, even my parents, you're supposed to view your content before you show a class, right?
Yeah, really.
So you can't just put on some random video, right? And so she either had to like walk away from the class or was out of the room, distracted, something, and come back hearing all these kids like screaming or whatever, and then administration found out, got mad, or parents got mad. Like, there's no possible way that she can just like find Cindy's birthday party, play it, and watch it with them in real time. And
this is
like,
fine. This is fine.
This is fine. And that just doesn't make sense to me. And there's also YouTube Kids, right? So for classrooms, especially younger classes, I would imagine there has to be some sort of protocol, right? That just says that you can't do this, or at least if you're going to be on YouTube, make sure it's on a kid-friendly platform. So, hey, we have another viewer here, John Lynch. John Lynch, she says she definitely walked away. Yeah, yes,
that's what I'm thinking.
She had to.
It comes from the school of thought of like, give the kid an iPad and put on some YouTube video and just let them be distracted by it. And it's like, that doesn't work when it's a whole room.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
And when it's your job.
Yeah. So I just don't understand the logic of that. And I'd say, so I put this on Reddit. Excuse me. And there was a bunch of people, I mean, tons and tons and tons of people who were commenting on this. I'd say 80 to 85% of it was people like, Cheryl was dumb for for doing this, or there's no way that she was allowed to do this, and that. And then I've got about another 15, 20% that says, like, shame on you, you should be putting warnings and stuff like that on your videos and this and that. And like, I feel no remorse. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, no
remorse, no regrets.
Yeah, no regrets. This is the best PR stunt that could happen for us. So she says, John says, end of the year, she got a bit lazy. I agree. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. It is end of the year for school. So she probably, and she said they were eating cupcakes. So you probably
grading papers and
yeah, just literally like those last few days. I remember the last few days of school. Like,
just chill.
You're just chilling, literally watching movies all day, whatever. She probably fucking put it on YouTube all day, and somehow got to Cindy's birthday party.
Or she put on actual birthday videos, and it like suggested Cindy's birthday party, and just let it autoplay.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's just wild to me, but it was the best news ever. I'm so excited. So now Cindy's birthday party is kind of going up in views. I'm really appreciating it. So okay, we'll wrap up with Cindy's. That was the news of the week there. We're gonna do a couple shout outs, okay? So the shout outs is, first of all, if you are not following Strange Films, please give us a follow on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube, Strange Film Studios. Give us a like on our videos, give us a subscribe, it really helps. Give us a follow, all those things, it really does help us, guys. Right now we're at 417 subscribers on YouTube, which thanks to Lions Den and Cindy's, we were at like 340. So we're up there, but now let's get to 500. If we can get to 500, I'm giving away a free DVD to I'll give it a giveaway contest, not to anyone specific, but a free DVD out there. I'm gonna do a contest, okay? But we gotta get to 500. I think that's the next platform, because then it's 1,000 subscribers. You can do something. There's levels of YouTube.
Yeah,
you get to
monetization.
Yeah, but I know you have to get like 10,000 subscribers and like 1,000 hours of watch time for like monetization.
I've peeked at it, but it's like, I don't know.
I'm not really worried about that right now. I definitely just want to keep it growing. So guys, if you like what we do, if you like horror, if you like just us and in general, just give us a like. That really does help. It goes a long way. He said it was a good. Cinema Scare says it was a good deal with Cindy's birthday party for sure. Yes, it was. A couple other shout outs here. We want to give a shout out to David Brandon of Cinema Scare Studios, because David has been helping me personally tremendously in the last few days, last couple of weeks. At FrankenCon, he was with me at the booth. He helped hand out flyers and cards and posters and all that jazz. Very big supporter. And currently we're writing a project together. So David of Cinema Scare Studios, we appreciate you and wanted to give you a big shout out. Okay. So other than that, shout out to Cheryl Williams, I guess. So we're hoping to kind of put the shout out segments in this in these weekly live streams to some of these either other companies or places or anybody that is coming our way and either showing us some love or doing some really cool things. So, all right, John, I have a game segment for you. Okay,
I like games.
All right, so this segment is called Take It or Leave It.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, So the deal is, I'm going to give you 10 subjects, and 5 of them are going to be film related, and 5 of them are going to be random. But
Cool.
you have to tell me, would you take it or would you leave it, and why? Okay?
Cool.
All right. So, guys, and if you're watching, if you're listening, I want you to tell me in the comments as well, would you take it or would you leave it? And, why you like it. It says, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Strange films for life. Thank you, David. All right, John, are you ready for take it or leave it?
Go for it.
Okay, number 1. Take it or leave it. M. Night Shyamalan.
I've not actually seen very much of M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay.
I think I've seen The Village, and I enjoy the atmosphere of that movie a lot. And then the twist was kind of like, all right, that's
Right.
fine. But I think that's the only movie of his I've ever seen. So
Really?
you know what? I will leave it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So you haven't seen like Signs, or you haven't?
Oh, I have seen Signs. I do really
Okay.
like Signs. Yeah.
You haven't seen like Unbreakable or The Sixth Sense or The Happening?
Nope. I went to a party where they put The Happening on in the background because they knew no one would pay attention to it.
Okay. Wow. Well, John says the king of the twist. Yes, sir. Okay. I'm going to take it because I love M. Night.
Yeah.
Besides a couple of his duds, and he's got maybe 2 or 3 that
We don't talk about that last Airbender.
Oh, well, yeah, that's one of them. Lady in the Water. I tried watching that. I really did.
I think I actually did see that, and I also don't think I
Yeah.
cared for that.
But M. Night's my boy. I really
I would
enjoy
like
it.
to see more of his films.
You
I
should.
just
Check
it's a
out-
very uninformed opinion of mine.
I would say check out some of his older
Mhm.
films like Unbreakable and Sixth Sense, especially, and then go into like some of his newer stuff. Like what was the one? Is it called The Visit? With
I heard that was really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
The Visit's really good. And then I just watched Old. So his latest movie, right?
That one, the trailers.
Tara Beaver says, take it. I worked for him on Servant Season 2. Great.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
amazing.
That's awesome.
I remember seeing that, Tara, actually. So, Tara, that's awesome. I would love to hear more about that experience. And, Tara, we're going to have you on the show one day, too, because we work together on Raven, and I know you have an amazing career ahead of you as well as your experience. So, get you on the show one day. But yeah, Old is his latest film.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
But the trailers look so weird.
But it's good.
What?
It's good.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. I'll give it like an 8 out of 10 because the ending I think could have had more of a twist.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think this was probably one of the most like wrapped up endings he's ever done, but still leading up to it was really, really good. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. She said, just watched Old last night. It was okay. Okay, I understand. It was not groundbreaking, but I definitely enjoyed it. I thought there was like some really like subtle, weird tension moments in it. I thought the story, obviously, the concept was really, really great. And I think, like I said, the only thing that kind of got me was the ending where I was kind of expecting more out of it, more of a twist, because he's known for those twist endings.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever watch Split?
No.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch Split.
I heard the good things about that too.
You gotta watch Split. The only one I haven't seen is Glass, and that's the tie-in of Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. So yeah, John, I would like to hear your thoughts again of M. Night Shyamalan.
Once I've actually watched some of the movies. Yeah.
Okay, so let's catch up on this. I got okay, thank you. Yes. So yes, Tara, great. All right, number 2. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, take it or leave it. Dijon Mustard.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna be take it, man.
Take it.
I don't have it very often on things, but it's like I'm a big mustard fan. I'm usually a yellow mustard guy, but like that a little bit of Dijon, like, and you got to have the right amount. You've got to have the right amount of Dijon because too much Dijon is a bad time.
So do you like regular Dijon? Do you like honey Dijon? Do you like spicy Dijon? Do you like all Dijon?
I don't think I've had honey, but it sounds really good now you mentioned that. Dang,
it is really good.
But yeah, I made a potato salad with some Dijon mustard, and that like added a really nice kick. So I don't really have a preference for the type, but yeah, I guess the spicier it is, the more careful you got to be with it.
True.
Don't want to overpower your food.
And you're kind of a cooking connoisseur.
A little bit, yeah.
You like
I
to
could say
cook
that.
a lot,
I like
right?
to cook a lot.
Okay, so you played around with Dijon though?
A little bit.
Okay.
It's not been a good mainstay ingredient, but now that you mention it, I'm like trying to think how I gotta do some more with
I
that.
play around with more spicy and honey Dijon.
Oh
They're
yeah.
good.
Oh yeah.
Because honestly, I love honey Dijon. I love spicy Dijon. I actually on my my club sandwiches, whatever, I'll put spicy Dijon instead of like regular brown or just regular mustard on.
Yeah.
I like spicy Dijon, brown mustard, whatever. But honey Dijon is actually really good too. Regular Dijon is actually my least favorite.
Really?
Yeah, it's good, but it just doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah.
So I take Dijon. So you take it, right?
Yeah,
okay,
take it.
Cool. Do you guys like Dijon Mustard? That's yeah. Let me know in the comments here. Okay, number 3. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Writing in coffee shops.
You know, I'm gonna say take it, but I've only ever done it like once.
Okay.
I actually, well, actually, I didn't write Tether in a coffee shop, but I started the shot list at a K-Brew here in Knoxville.
Okay, I've written at K-Brew quite a few times.
Yeah.
John Lynch, puss. Okay.
I think it says pass.
Oh, pass. Okay. The only reason John, the only reason I said that is because I've known you for years, and you used to be like puss. Like you used to bust my balls all the time. Well, it didn't make sense when I read it. All right. Thanks, John. Pass. John passes. Tara, take it. Honey or spicy? Yes.
I get the maybe passing on the writing in coffee shops thing because it is one of those things where as soon as you do it,
okay.
you're like, "Am I that guy?
Yeah,
Am I that guy?"
Yeah, John. He's probably talking about Dijon, but let me know if you're talking about writing also. But I said puss. Anyways, so you said take it, right?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I don't do it often, but it's like
Right.
whatever.
Well, especially pre-COVID. I mean, like,
Yeah.
pre-COVID.
I've not been to a coffee shop
Right,
since
yeah.
pre-COVID.
But you know, there's always that like idea, like, oh, go write in a coffee shop or something, right? And I actually used to do that quite a bit. I used to go in coffee shops. K-Brew was one of them. I've been to Starbucks a few times, but I used to take my laptop and I would get either writing done or I'd do like social media stuff or website stuff or whatever I'm working on at the time. So I've written quite a few stuff at coffee shops, and I do like it because I like to just like indulge myself in a nice fancy coffee,
cappuccino and
bagel and half the time I actually just look like I'm doing something, and then 40% I'm actually working. But it's nice to get out of the house.
Have strangers see your strange film
exactly.
sticker on the back. Be like, what's that?
John says both. You write a coffee shop when you're trying to find the love of your life or something.
What do you think I'm writing for?
There you go. Check out Tether.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. All right, good deal. Okay, so writing in coffee shops is okay. All right. Number 4, John.
Yep.
Flamingos.
You know, I'm going to say take it. I've never actually seen a flamingo outside of maybe a zoo, but big fan of the Caro Caro Bonito song, Flamingo.
Okay.
Very, very fun song.
I don't think I've heard that.
It's basically a song about it's okay to be yourself.
Cool.
And, you know, it's a good message. And flamingos seem pretty cool.
They do.
Like the long legs and the pink and the
Beautiful
crane. Yeah, they're very interesting. I'll
Yeah.
take it. Who would leave it
I
on
don't
flamingos?
know. I don't know. I would take it too. And flamingos are not only pretty, but they're cool, like you said. I honestly do imagine them being kind of violent when they're angry.
Yeah.
But I do in Las Vegas. There's like a flamingo. Like I can't remember what exact hotel, casino, resort it is, but like when you're walking through these hotels, you know, there's actually a flamingo like little area where there's tons of little just flamingos chilling. Like, and I've seen it twice now in my life. When I was younger, and I went to Vegas in 2020 right before pandemic hit, and I was like, the flamingos. I was like, they're here. They're cool. I like flamingos. Yeah. John says Emus. What is this?
Emus.
Emus are better. Okay. Do you guys like flamingos?
I mean, Australia once lost a war to an emu, so
really,
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know much about it, but it's. I mean, that might be an exaggeration, but you Google it. Google emu war.
True. John, I just want to point out that we are at 9 streamers.
We were at 10 a second ago.
10, and I told John
It's when you said puss.
I think so. Yeah. We were at 10 earlier, and I told John if we can get to 10 streamers, I hit my goal for the day.
Perfect.
So, do you know an ape named Mape? No. All right.
I do not.
All right. Number 5, John. Romantic comedies.
Oh, take it.
Yeah.
You know, even when they're kind of bad, they're still pretty good.
Absolutely.
You know, there's just kind of something about it, especially like when you're someone who's, you know, you're going through your life and you get like kind of down and depressed about something. It's kind of like, it's fun to see someone struggling to get romance in their life, and it's something you can kind of laugh at and whatnot. Do you have a favorite?
Okay, so I actually wrote down a couple here because I was trying to think of some of my favorites, right? Because I actually do like rom-coms a lot. a few select moods. Like I know when I'm hungover, I like to watch rom-coms. I know if it's rainy days, if I'm like being completely lazy, if I'm hanging out with the family, I like to watch rom-coms. And like you said, if you're just kind of feeling like a little
kind of funky,
funky, rom-coms are nice. And I grew up watching rom-coms,
and it's not like. It's not like when you watch a romance movie, you just cry because you're like,
no.
But a rom-com, you can kind of be like, I feel your pain.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sure you remember as well, basically since 2000, there was like a wave of just all kinds
and now they kind of stopped.
And they're not really even that good anymore.
Yeah.
You know, the ones in like between like 2000, maybe 2010 are like, there's a lot of them and there are a lot of great ones. Like, and ones like Ben Stiller and like, I don't know, fucking Mark Ruffalo and all that stuff. So actually, I named a couple, and honestly, these probably aren't even my favorites. Just they're the ones I just thought of the top of my head because I was like, I don't even remember. But actually, I really like, especially around the Christmas season, is The Family Stone. And have you seen that one?
I'm not.
So like, God, who's it? Not Owen Wilson. Luke Wilson is in it. His brother. There's a bunch of other people in it, but it's a romantic comedy, but it's set around Christmas. I love Christmas. It's just like it's a really good feel good movie. Actually, I do enjoy 13 Going on 30 too, with Mark Ruffalo and I can't remember the other actress name.
Jennifer Garner.
Yes, Electra.
Maybe.
Yeah, she's yeah. So those two are good, but I do remember a lot like with Steve Carell and like even Ryan Reynolds is in a few, and Ben Stiller, like Along Came Polly, I think was one, and that may not even be like a rom-com, but I'm right there with you, man. Yeah, I'll take them. You know, for the most part.
Yeah, they're pretty. They can be pretty fun. I actually wrote during COVID. I actually wrote a short rom-com film, and it's
nice.
It's funny. It takes place in a coffee shop. So
nice.
Not exactly. Didn't write it in a coffee shop because I couldn't, but it's there, and it was fun. I really want to make one at some point. Love Actually, yes, Love Actually is really good.
Yes. Okay. Tara Beavers. I love rom-coms. I Love Actually is my favorite at Christmas. Yes, Christmas rom-coms are some of the best. I'm not gonna lie, because we love watching Christmas movies in general, and Christmas rom-coms are just kind of fits into it very, very naturally, and we love watching them. And now, guys, we're at 10 streamers.
Woo!
So, guys, you're the 10 viewers right now. Thanks for watching. And if you ever listen to this on the audio version, thanks for tuning in. So we're halfway through Take It or Leave It, John. All right, you ready for number 6?
Let's go.
Number 6, Take It or Leave It, camping.
You know, that's really hard to say for me because I've not really had good experiences camping, but I know I can.
Okay.
Because every experience I've had camping is being underprepared, sleeping on a cold, hard floor, not bringing enough, not having access to showers, going like with family and everyone kind of like batting at each other. In spring break one year, I went camping with my mom, uncle, and cousin, and my uncle insisted we go to a campground that was actually closed and like argued with the people when they showed up and said the campground's closed, and he's like, it's outside, what are we supposed to do? So it's been not great, but like I know if I like got my new cooking skills, I cooked something over the fire, I went with some good friends, brought like a Bluetooth speaker so we could put on some tunes, and you know, invested in a good air mattress and all that, it would be a really great time. But my past experience with camping, I'd say leave it, but my hopes for the future, I would say take it.
Okay, so you're kind of in the middle there.
Kind of in the middle
there. Okay, I want to say at this point in my life, I'm leaving it. Okay.
Yeah.
I used to take it all day. John Lynch, if you're still watching, we have some camping stories together because we camped in high school together. I camped quite a few times in my life with family and friends, and they were fun. There was some times where I felt like I had no idea what we were doing and why we were here and all this stuff. But I think there's some sort of adventure to it, you know, it was definitely entertaining. But now there's no way in hell I want to sleep in a tent outside in the middle of the woods in complete darkness on the ground or whatever. I would have to have an RV or something. I just don't want to do it right now. You know, I like my bed. I like being home, and I don't. So at this point in my life, I leave it. But I used to take it. I did enjoy camping quite a bit. John, yes, we do, brother. Before all luxuries, yes, absolutely, John. Exactly. Like those were the good old days where all we had to do was just be dumb, and we had a lot of fun being dumb out in the woods.
Oh yeah.
But now,
where else are you gonna do it? You know?
Yeah. Now, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So if you go camping, hats off to you. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, I'll try to do it sometime.
All right, number 7. DVDs and Blu-rays. Do you still think these are relevant? Do you take them or do you leave them?
Take them 100%.
Okay.
As long as we have streaming services that you'll go to watch your favorite movie and it's just not there anymore, physical media. No one's coming to my house and taking my Blu-rays,
Amen.
but they will absolutely go to my Netflix and take away my movies.
Amen. There you go. That's right. So John says it's best, guys. Physical media all the way. Like I know streaming is where it's at. And don't get me wrong, I love streaming. But like I still collect DVDs. I still collect Blu-rays. I still collect like stuff I can hold.
The special features.
Yeah, the behind the scenes, all that stuff, you know. Strange Films has a DVD out. And the reason is because I know people love collecting physical media, and I love collecting physical media, so it just makes sense, you know. It's
especially when you get your hands on a good Criterion.
Oh, there you go.
Those
I need
fancy
to play more.
ones.
I only have one. Blake.
I've got 2. Blake.
Yeah, he got me one.
What did he get you?
Drunk Punch Love.
Yeah. He got me Boyhood, and then I bought 12 Angry Men, and I also have Parasite. I'd like to get some more.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that Parasite's
nice.
It's great.
Yeah, I think it's just you're gonna have that majority of people, I think, who still love the vintage feel of collecting, and going into modern day where they still would rather have the physical release, right, versus streaming. Because, like you said, internet goes out, or some streaming service goes down, or they take away all your movies or shows that you want on streaming. You still got it on DVD or Blu-ray, and you can pop it in.
And don't even get me started on the movies where like you can't rent them on YouTube, you can't rent them on Amazon, you can't stream them anywhere.
True.
You just gotta have a DVD, and that's the only way you can get it, unless you want to like sail the 7 seas or something, you know.
Mm-hmm. So yes, DVDs and Blu-rays are still relevant. They are, and VHS is making a comeback, But so yes. Take it all day. All right. Number 8, John. Podcasts.
Oh, take it. Absolutely.
Right. I assumed.
Listen to so many podcasts. Yeah. If I'm not listening to music, or if I'm not doing something that requires I have audio, I'm listening to a podcast because I got to get that in. Yeah, it's great.
So do you have any favorite podcasts you want to recommend to anybody?
Yeah, I listen to quite a few. I'm a bit of a history nerd, and I'm really into all that. So if you're not into history, you probably won't like a lot of mine. One of my favorites is Behind the Bastards, which is a show that basically goes into like evil people. And we're not talking just like Hitler levels of evil. We're talking about like small people who work behind the scenes and have had big influence on the world in a very negative way. And it's hosted by Robert Evans, who's a journalist as well. He does a lot of great research, and his guest is usually a comedian. Makes things a bit lighter. If we're talking about someone who may have made a decision that killed like 1 million people or something, it gets a bit heavy. So that's why it's a hard recommend, but it's a very good, if you're into well-researched, entertaining history. On that other end is The Dollop, which is an American history podcast. And one of the hosts is a comedian who has no idea what he's in for. And the other one did all the research, reads him the story. And a good episode for that is 10 Cent Beer Night, about the time that a baseball stadium decided to only charge 10 cents for the beers. Nothing can go wrong, right? We can all see where that's going. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. So history podcasts, right on. You listen to a ton. So guys, if you like history, if you like podcasts, check out some of those recommendations.
Yeah.
I've listened to tons and tons and tons of podcasts.
Because you do that a lot now that you drive.
I drive every day for work, so I'm listening to podcasts literally every single day. But yeah, I listened to. I was listening to a filmmaking podcast, No Budget Filmmaking. They stopped doing their episodes.
That's a shame. That happens to a lot of good podcasts too.
They were good too. No Budget Filmmaking. I listened to Striking a Chord with Ernie Ball. That's a good one if you like music and interviews musicians. I listened to a reseller podcast, Pure Hustle podcast. All kinds of different ones. I used to dive into the heavy stuff, like a lot of crime and like true crime stuff. Oh man, sometimes it's just too dark.
Yeah.
So, but I still like it. It's just sometimes like if you go on a binge listen of it, it's like, what am I doing?
It's like if I listen to something on a dark subject, it has to be like they have to have like a comedian on to kind of like lighten the mood, crack a few jokes or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so podcast. Guys, drop your favorite podcast in the chat if you're on. 11 streams, right on. I like it.
Someone's going to say Strange Films podcast.
Strange Films podcast.
Shout out to the few people who listened to the podcast that Blake and I started before COVID. Killed it.
Yeah.
The El Burrito podcast, where we would we'd talk about what movies we'd seen, and then we'd like both listen to a song and we'd analyze it, and it was like kind of cool, but it also kind of sucked because we knew we couldn't put the song in the podcast, so we had to just leave it out.
So now, moving forward, if you ever do a podcast again, or if we do one together, whatever, we can do music as long as we put it on Spotify. Because if you put it on Spotify, you can have music on there. So
perfect.
And we're going to do another proper shout out here in a little bit. But Rodney's Super Action Talk podcast, that's how he gets all his individual songs. You play on it. You have to do it only through Spotify because they have the license and stuff like that. But couldn't post on YouTube or anything like that. But yeah. All right. So number 9. I know this one you might not like. Timed film festivals. So like you're talking 48-hour, 54-hour, like 2-week film festival. Those challenge film festivals where you have a dead set time limit, and to get your film written, shot, edited, and presented.
So I'm going to go ahead and say take it on the condition that you go in prepared with a really good team.
Yes.
And I don't mean anything against my team for the most recent one I did. They were a great team, but we were not prepared enough, and we could have had a larger team. I've done 2 of them. I did a 48-hour in 2019, and we made a film called Egg Dog, and that went swimmingly. We had a few bits of stress here and there, and we had to kind of scramble for a few things, but for the most part, we wrote it the night we got the assignment. We shot it the next day. We edited it the last day. Went smooth. Recently, we did the 52 Film Fest in Johnson City, and that we made our film starting from scratch. A lot of the issues with that was we needed some more people. We took a long time, way longer than we should have, to really settle on an idea before we started writing. And, and then a lot of it was just we kind of pushed ourselves just too hard, and, we lost a lot of sleep, and that lost sleep resulted in poor decision making and a lot of stress. But that turned out okay. But yeah, take it on the condition that you're prepared and everything, but if you're thinking of doing one, prepare. Get a really good team, people you trust, people you can work with and can rely on.
Yes, I 100% agree. I guess I'll take it under that condition too, but to be honest, I don't like them. It's
like a cool exercise in like seeing if you can do it.
Yes,
I think everyone who is a filmmaker should at least try it once.
Yeah, and the thing is, I've only done the 2-week film challenge where you get the 2 weeks to do it, and those went really well for us.
Oh yeah,
but that's 2 weeks. That's still a long time.
Yeah.
I haven't done a 48, or I haven't done like anywhere where you have 2-3 days to do it. And it's like part of me really, really wants to try to see if I can do it. But the other part of it is like, do I want to put myself through that fucking stress and all this? It's like, it's challenge, but I think I would only do it if I knew I had the right team behind me. Because I know what I'm capable of, but if every person on the team can't hold up that specific skill they're coming into the team with, or at least able to contribute in one way or another, or it's just no one's on the same page at the same time, it's not going to go well. So, take it under that condition. I agree.
And shout out to Blake Hall, who he has told me multiple times about the time he did a 48-hour festival, and in the middle of the production, he went to a Radiohead concert and then came back and finished it.
What?
I think he worked on the audio or something, so he was okay to go off for like a couple of hours. But like, you're doing a 48-hour film festival and you have spare time, sleep.
Yeah.
But I guess Radiohead, whatever.
That's the most Blake Hall thing I think I've ever heard. All right, so I agree with you on that. Number 10, the last one, take it or leave it. Domino's Pizza.
You know what? I'm gonna take it. If this were like 15 or so years ago, I would say leave it, because that used to be that fed my church youth group, and I got so sick of it. And I think I got sick of it because like it was not that great, and then they were like, we're gonna make it good now, and it got pretty good. And like once I stopped having it every week for church youth group, and I would have it every now and then, it was like, hey, Domino's is pretty good. Domino's is pretty good.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Sim is scared. David says it's Papa John's for me. Papa John's is legit too. I will say I agree with you on that, dude. I remember I did not like Domino's back when I was young, but then they did that change of the ingredients.
Garlic crust.
Yeah. And John Lynch, if you're still watching, if you remember, me and you scammed Domino's Pizza because they had that commercial where they're like, if you don't like it, we'll refund you. And me and you got like a large pizza, ate it, and then came back and said, oh, it wasn't good. No one liked it. And then we got our money back. And she was like, we're going to do it this one time, but you can't do this ever again. And we're like,
okay. Take a different marketing campaign then.
But ever since, I do like Domino's. I don't get it now as even so often anymore. I probably get more. I get Papa John's probably more. I still love Pizza Hut quite a bit.
Thoughts on Little Caesars?
They're legit now.
Yeah. Like you cannot turn down
No.
$5.99 hot and ready.
He said they
Garlic
changed
butter,
the crust.
garlic butter.
Absolutely. That's what changed it all. And Domino's now is right up my alley. Like he said we took back one piece.
Yeah, you didn't like it, but you ate all but one piece.
And David says Little Caesars is great. They are. They really are.
I'm dog sitting just last night. I was like, I don't feel like buying stuff to make stuff in this kitchen. I'm just gonna buy a Little Caesars pizza.
Little Caesars is legit now. Like they up their quality ingredients. They've got like all kinds of different flavor or toppings now, stuffed crust now, like all kinds of different like deep dish. Like it. I will. If anyone's ever like, you want Little Caesars, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Especially when you know that
I'm not mad at it.
Your fair share is going to be $5 for a whole pizza.
For sure, yeah.
Plus, I think it's $6 now.
Yeah,
inflation, but
still crazy.
It's still better than most prices.
For sure. So
that's cheaper than most frozen pizzas too.
Absolutely, yeah. The only problem I have with Little Caesars is now it's really not that hot and ready. Most of the time you walk in there, they're like, oh, it's gonna be like 10, 15 minutes. It's like, oh, okay. But
depends on the one you go to.
Yeah, that's true. So. All right, that wraps it up as far as Take It or Leave It. John, how did you enjoy the segment?
That was pretty fun. You threw me some curveballs. I did not expect to be talking about Dijon Mustard tonight.
Yeah, I tried throwing in some interesting topics there.
There we go. 5
film-related, 5 random ones.
Great.
So glad you were the very first guest as far as Take It or Leave It goes. Guys, If you enjoyed Take It or Leave It, let me know. I appreciate everybody chiming in.
Little Caesars in a gallon of milk.
Yeah, David Brandon says Little Caesars in a gallon of milk. That is an interesting combo.
That sounds like me vomiting. That's like a whole gallon.
I only drink, I like milk, but it's like my end of night sweet. Like if I have a scoop of peanut butter and drink some milk with it, I can't eat milk and pizza. Okay. All right, John, let's dive into your time to shine.
All right.
So why don't you talk to us about Tether?
Tether?
At least what you want to say about it. And because I know it's coming out at the end of the month.
May 31st.
Yes, May 31st. Tether. It's going to be on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay. And Tether has been a project you've been working on for quite some time now.
Quite some time.
So in your own words and your own expressions and however you want to talk about it, but let's talk about Tether.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Well, Tether's movie that I've had the idea for it in my head for a while. After I had in college, I watched a lot of my colleagues' films and things, and a classmate I had, Cortland Welch, made a film. I think it was called The Spot, and it basically depicted someone going through some tough relationship stuff, dealing with friendships and some jealousy. And
look who's there.
Oh, there we go. A good album title there.
That's right.
There we go. That's Andrew Hull. Shout out to Andrew Hull, who is Tether himself. He is Matthew Tether.
All right.
We'll get to him later.
Yes. Andrew, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you, man.
But yes, I watched that film and I thought, this is good. I can tell that he's kind of expressing something maybe he's been through, kind of working through some stuff he's dealt with. He's pouring his heart out on this. And it's like, I really want to do that because I'm not really. Oh, and there's Kate in the comments. Hey, Kate. Shout out to Kate. Kate Tether.
She says, hi, John.
Hello. We
got some John's peeps in here.
Yeah, perfect. They're make up like a good 20% of the audience. Awesome. And
you keep dropping down streams.
Everyone's leaving. They're like, what the hell is this?
14 just a second ago.
No, but I wanted to do something like that. And I was a college-aged straight man, so obviously I had been through immense hardship.
Of course.
And
white straight man.
Yeah, there we go. And I kind of like started writing some ideas out for something, and I was dealing with like a friendship I had lost due to some stuff that had happened. Don't need to go super into it, but I was processing like, what if this person just showed up on my doorstep and we had to like, I had to be like, you want some coffee? You want how you been? And like the whole time being like, all right, elephant in the room. How we gonna do this? And I wrote that out and figured that out. Went through some other stuff. You were there for that and whatnot, and that shook things up and kind of turned into this big thing of just like this big. I mean, I joked it's John's Emotional Baggage, the movie, and it wrote the script and took a while to come together. So early on, you were helping me out a lot with it, and just helped me with the casting and stuff. And we had a hard time casting it because one of the biggest things is we can't just cast a really good actor and a really good actress. They have to have good chemistry. We have to guarantee that. And we were having a lot of trouble with that. And, eventually enter Kate and Andrew, two good friends of mine who have been good friends for a while. They have that natural chemistry. They both act. They're both very talented. They're both very professional. And they came in and were like, all right, let's do this. And we're going to film it in Chattanooga at Andrew's place. And then COVID happened. And we filmed it, went back and filmed some more, edited it, had to re-record some lines, all sorts of stuff. But point is, finally, Tether's done. Y'all get to see it May 31st. It's the best thing I've ever made. I hope it's not the best thing I'll ever make, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Well, congratulations, man. I know that's a long process, and it's safe to say that no matter what the story is, putting your own like personal experiences or emotions into it or anything like that means you put passion into it, and that which ultimately makes any project better. I mean, I did the same thing with like the Sound of You.
That was a big inspiration to me too.
And it was one of my most honest moments, publicly as well, because people don't people don't think like you want to put yourself out there like that, or sometimes even myself now, it's like I don't want to put myself out there like that. But doing that, it does take some courage, and it also takes honesty and a lot of hard work to do. And the fact that you did it and you're doing it and that you're proud of it, amen. And I appreciate it. That's awesome, man. So congratulations, man. I'm very, very excited to watch it because, like you said in the very beginning when we were kind of trying to work on it together, help you out a little bit here and there, and then throughout the last couple of years, I've been very eager to. Andrew says, sorry it took me a month to record 2 lines of dialogue.
Shout out to those 2 lines of dialogue for being just garbled enough that I felt the need to replace them.
All right.
And it ended up taking forever to get that recorded. So, it happens. Filmmaking's a slow process.
Yeah, it is. It's a team effort, man. Like, I mean, like you can do a lot on your own, but at the end of the day, you have to have somebody else.
I mean, like I ran camera and directed, but like Andrew helped out a lot with setting up the lighting, and we had Kyle on sound and Blake on productions, Sonny and David on production assistant stuff. And big shout out to Gage Lippy, who did the score for it. He did the score for Blake's film Cadence, and he took this film from like the first time I watched Tether. After I cut it, I thought, kind of boring. It's kind of boring. And then when he delivered that score to me, I watched it again and I'm like, this is really sad. It's really good. So awesome. Shout out to Gage.
Cool. Shout out and congratulations again.
Yeah.
Very excited to watch it, and we will do our part as far as giving that a share and all that good stuff. And we'll have you back on the show later on to talk about maybe some learning experiences from all that.
Yeah.
So cool. So we're going to tie that segment into one more question I wanted to ask you regarding the filmmaking process. So I know you love to write.
Yes.
Right? Would you say you like writing more than directing?
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no.
Okay.
I like that I can write wherever I have a laptop, whenever, if I'm not busy. I like that I can put on some tunes, just kind of let the ideas flow out. But directing kind of has this feel of like really bringing together a cohesive project, which includes the script. The script is just one part of that cohesive project, and bringing that all together with directing, you really feel like you're making something big, like
of course,
not just words on paper that might get turned into something, but you're turning that into something.
So what would you say your writing influences are? Maybe style, some traditions. Like, what do you have to do to kind of get yourself in the mood for it? And then kind of like I said, like your influences going into Tether. Or is there any particular writing style that you like to go for in general?
It's kind of hard to say in terms of style because I've made so many different kinds of films. I mean, I made a movie about a dog that lays eggs, and then my next film was a emotional baggage breakup movie. And, in terms of like getting in my mindset, a lot of it is I have to have some idea of what I'm going for. I can't just open up a blank page and start writing a script. I have to have characters, a basic idea of what the story is going to be, usually a basic outline, but sometimes I like to work without one so I can kind of write it and see what comes out. But yeah, the process changes from project to project. I've had some projects where I put immense amounts of effort into an outline and world building and characters. And then there's some where I just think, cool idea, I'm going to go write it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool, man. All right. So if you had to pick your dream film career, what would it be?
I would say this is really ideal, but it would be I'd work for a studio and they'd say, your ideas are golden, man. You write whatever you want. You direct whatever you want. We are going to pay you more than enough. We unlimited budget, unlimited marketing budget. Optimally, yeah. But I mean, when it comes down to it, if I could just make like one solid movie a year, if I were allowed to express myself, and I'll even take some studio interference here and there, as long as the vision comes out 90% me, I'm good.
Okay, well, you said you heard it here, folks. John Queener, thank you so much for joining us and talking about your experience with Tether and writing and everything in between, as far as you like Dijon Mustard, you haven't seen M. Night Shyamalan movies, and you might want to go camping one day. Anyways, we're going to do a couple more shout outs here just to kind of wrap this up. We're at the end of our stream here today. And John, again, you're our very first guest.
Perfect.
It was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, I'm glad we got to do it. And hopefully the next time around we'll have some better technical setups here, because it was promising when you walked in. You're like, oh, wow, he's got it together. And then it was like, oh, God, he doesn't have it together.
Story of my life.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do some shout outs. First of all, I want to shout out to everybody on the stream who has tuned in, who has left or has come back or who's still watching. Tara, John, David, we got Andrew, and is it Case? Kate, thank you all so much for watching and chiming in on the chat. That's been great. Thank you very much. Again, shout out to we want to do the shout out to Mass Driver Super Action Talk podcast. I was just on the Rodney show just the other day. So if you like music, if you like controversy, if you like shit talking about all kinds of topics and random things, and especially music and certain themes for every episode, Rodney does a really, really great music podcast called Super Action Talk with his badass band, Mass Driver. John just got to see Mass Driver recently. I was almost there watching it, but I had to go take care of the kid. And but yeah, check it out on Spotify, Super Action Talk. And his latest episode 48, I am on it, and we talk about summer songs. So shout out Rodney. And again, if you guys have not followed us on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, check us out, Strange Film Studios. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and
make sure to like John Queener Films on Facebook.
I did tag him, so you have no excuse.
Better do that. At John Queener Films on Instagram, and just John Queener on YouTube. It's a picture of me with the camera.
There you go.
So there you go. That's where you'll find Tether when it premieres May 31st.
You want to subscribe and get that notification when it drops so you can watch it. So yeah, please give us a subscribe or a like. It definitely helps. And we are kind of trying to get to 500 subscribers right now, which we're about 80, 81 or 83 away or something like that. So
and there. John Queener Films has 86 likes. I saw we peaked at 14 viewers.
I did see
we get those 14 viewers to like our page. I know for a fact that like a few of those, like Andrew doesn't even use Facebook, so whatever. But like if we could get up to 100 likes, that'd be great.
That's the goal, guys. Let's get John Queener Films to 100. Okay, so Perfect. Let's do it. All right, John. So we've got a couple things here. Last words, some advice. So last words, John. If you have to give any advice to any upcoming or aspiring filmmaker, I should say, or writer, or anything in general, or anybody who just wants to get creative at all, do you have any advice for them?
Well, I will say a lot. If you're an aspiring filmmaker today, you've got it a lot easier than I did back in the day, because when I was a kid and I wanted to make movies, I didn't have something in my pocket that could make movies. And most people do now with their phones. Lots of phones have really good quality. Don't worry about getting a great camera or great sound equipment or Adobe After Effects or whatever. There's plenty of great free open source software out there for you to put your movies together. If you have an idea, go out and make it, have fun with it, and learn from it. That's the number one thing I can tell you, because you might mess some things up. It might not turn out the way you want it to, but learn from that, because you got to start somewhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, and that's essentially what I try to tell every single person. And I've been asked that question as well. I mean, it's just a matter of doing it. It's just a matter of taking that first step. The first step is the hardest, I think. I mean, like you said, you can literally film anything with your phone now. If you can get a basic camera, you don't have to have the fancy equipment. You don't have to have all this crazy stuff that you know when you think of filmmaking, you're like, oh, it's got to be Hollywood or whatever. You got to have a bunch of money. You don't have to. You just don't have to. You can literally make anything on any budget and do really well with it too. But you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to learn from those mistakes, and you're going to grow, and then you're going to challenge yourself. And it's like, but getting to those stages, you have to take that first step to just say, you know what, I've got an idea, got a couple buddies, and we're going to hit record. That's all it starts, man. But yeah, so I definitely agree with you on that. So guys, if you are ever an inspiring filmmaker or whatnot, just go on YouTube, look up some videos, listen to podcasts. All the tools are out there for you, all the free resources. I mean, that's like, and we're going to dive into a lot of these individual subjects on this on the show, like when it comes to filmmaking in general, like as far as budget, as far as writing and directing and gear and all these different things. So those are exciting things I'm excited to talk about for anybody who's interested in that kind of stuff, as well as people who are interested in maybe learning about filmmaking. So it's all that stuff is out there, though. You can literally, it's at the palm of your hands, touch your fingertips on YouTube and everything. So, all right, John, last words for you. I know you just shouted out everything, but is there anything else you want to say as far as your career goes, or anything else in the coming future?
You know, not anything to end the episode on, because you know, I've got a lot of thoughts on the filmmaking career, but they'd have to be like full episodes. So, yes. You know,
we'll have to have you back.
Absolutely.
For more topics and more discussions. Okay. So guys, thank you so much again. This was our very first live stream. We're going to try to put this out in an audio version. That way we can post it out on like Spotify or Apple or wherever it takes us. If not, you can always come back and check it out on the YouTube page if you missed it. And we appreciate it again. Come stop by the channel, Strange Film Studios. Check out all of our films. We talked about the controversy of Cindy's birthday party. Go to John Quinter Films on YouTube and his Facebook. Give him a like, and check out Tether May 31st. Right
there you go.
Awesome, guys. We appreciate it very, very, very much. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time. Thank you.